Hello, people. It's a great day, and God has been using us mightily to do the things that He wants us to do to the glory of His name. My name is Tony J. Nakale, and the show is The Bandstand on Ekwa Television. Today, I'm so excited because I'm talking about something that I love so much, and the topic is playing as a band. Wow, playing as a band. I'll be back in a minute. God bless you and thank you for sticking around, staying glued to your chairs and your television. Thank you very much. The show is The Bandstand on Ekwa Television. Like I said earlier, we are going to be talking about playing as a band. Most of the time when I visit people in the rehearsal venues, I find out that something is missing. You have a drummer borrowed from somewhere, bass guitar is borrowed from somewhere, and then all of these people come together and then they play good music, but they don't play as a band. Because you hear greatness from the bassist, you hear great play from the pianist, you hear great play from the drummer, the lead guitarist, and maybe the saxophonist, but their playing is not weaved together. Most of the time, it is a problem for me, and I don't like that. That disintegration. You know, it doesn't tell. It doesn't communicate well a musical language musically to people that are listening. There are bands that have been playing for like 10, 15, 20 years, and when you hear them, you appreciate what they are doing, you know, and you just fall in love with the band because there is a language with which they communicate, and it's just so soothing. So I have a few points here that I've listed out that I'm going to be taking us through on the bandstand, and I pray that the Lord is going to help you and help you make sense or meaning out of what I'm saying. Like I say on my shows, the bandstand is a place where we talk about the basic nitty-gritties and the things that people go through as musicians, the things that people want to deal with, and the things that people want to see enhanced in their music. So from the little that I know, I try to share with people, and then we all move up together. The first point here, I say, what is the purpose of the band? What is the purpose of the band? I know that you would realize that there are churches who don't have bands, who don't have music groups. They just like the choir to sing with at most the organ. That is just all that they want. They are like a church that is always asleep, so don't wake us up with the loudness of your music. And it's okay if that is what you want. Nobody has anything against that. But if that is what you want, this topic is not for you. But you might sit as well and listen to a few things that I have to say that you might find helpful in the course of the discussion. So, what is the purpose of the band? Basically, simply put, is to help lead people to worship God in His manifested presence. I want you to understand why I used the word manifested before saying presence. I really need to explain. The presence of God is everywhere in the whole world over. But His manifested presence is not everywhere in the whole world over. The presence of God is even in that room of the prostitute. But His manifested presence is not found there. His presence is everywhere because He is the landlord of the world. He is the owner of the world. So His presence is everywhere. But that kind of presence cannot heal. That kind of presence cannot deliver. That kind of presence cannot cause any change. His manifested presence is only found in the place where He is evoked. The day you don't show up in rehearsal, that's when they know, wow, we are missing a very good alto singer. a very good soprano singer is missing. Oh wow, a very good drummer is missing. To the extent the church members start asking you, where's Brother Patrick? Ah, that guy could drum. Do you understand? So you have to understand the purpose why your church needs a band, and then that they have carved out a band that you're coming to join. You are not coming to join a band with your own idea. No, this is how it should be done. No, this is how they do it here. So the purpose, you have to fit in their purpose. You don't come up trying to change their stuff. No, this is how it is. So do it that way. You can add, you can embellish, but you cannot change. So there is a purpose why a band is existing. And basically the purpose of that band is to help glorify God, bring his presence down for people to worship, glorify God, lead people into his presence to praise him and to worship him. That apart, there should be no purpose. It's not a place where you come to flaunt all the clothes you have for people to see. As important as that is, there is a place for that. It's not a place where you come and raise up your loud voice for people to hear. There's a place for that. But you have to understand and sit under the umbrella of that purpose first, and then every other thing will fall into place. The second point that I want to stress out is the purpose of the band determines the type of musicians that should be in the band. Ooh, if you hire a percussionist, like someone who plays the drums or congas or any shaker or anything that is of the percussion family, if you hire a percussionist that has only played traditional jazz for 20 years to play in a local wedding reception, that might be atrocious to that person. That might be strange, that because you need energetic sound, you understand, and he is so engrossed, entangled, he's locked up in that style of traditional jazz. He is not versatile. Versatility is far away from him. So he would want to just sit down and continue his traditional jazz. You don't do that you don't play traditional jazz in an African wedding reception. They throw stones at you and all of that. So I'm just joking. There are some wedding receptions that they want things that are really classy. So but ordinarily, naturally, people want things that are energetic for them to dance to and all of that. So the purpose of the band determines the types of musicians. So in our local churches, you have to be versatile with the style that people like to normally hear in church. The drummer should be able to play reggae very well, makossa very well, high life very well, all of these styles and, styles of music that we like to play. The band has to be versatile because locally there is a style. There is what is expected of people locally. There's what is expected of people. So when you fail to fit people every often these styles that they are used to, you are limiting their the magnitude of their worship unto the Lord. You are limiting it. Why? Because you are introducing a worship that they like, but in a style that they don't appreciate. So it affects how they lift up hands and the thing. But when you touch them with a style that they are so used to, and that's a very huge problem in Africa. We try to copy foreign styles and do them, and you cannot do it more than the people who own it. So you have to realize that your assembly is this particular type of assembly, that not every day we would do this, but at least let's do what is the needful for this assembly to easily relate to worship and deliver it to the glory of God. So the people that you are introducing in your band should be people that understand the purpose of the band, the usefulness of the band to the church, the usefulness of the group to the people, the usefulness of the existence of that group to that community. The next point is to create a musical language for your team for communication. You have do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. And I remember in those days when we used to play, right now everybody is everywhere, but when we used to play as a band in church several years ago, when we used to play, there's a way we used to tell about chords. When it's key C, we do this. When it's key D, because we took C to be like the beginning of musical alphabetical order in music. So we took C to be the first, because even on the piano, most of the piano, you have C starting the notes for you. So we chose C to be like the beginning. Most people do that. You know, some people want to start from A, B, C, D, E, F, G. There are 7 keys in music, yeah. But these 7 keys would give rise to a whole lot. So when you're talking about creating a musical language, don't create something that is pre-existing. Create something that just you would understand, and a language that you can easily communicate. So we used to call this C, D, E, F, and we used to call this G. So when we want to say F, we just do this with the baby finger. So we just say A, or just say C, D, E, F, G, yeah, and then G, then A, B, yeah. So that's what we used to do. When you see this, you know that it's key B. When you see this, you know that it's A. So C, D, E, F, G, A, B. We used to do that a whole lot. So when we play down, 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 down. So we say it's 1 and 4, with 1 being the root chord, like G, 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 C, C, C. So we do that a lot. So we just say it's 1 and 4, and you play it maybe 2 times 1 on 1, and then 2 times on 4. And then if you are adding the minor, you can just say 4 times on minor. So when you do, everybody in the band just understands what you are saying. Even the drummer, he doesn't play chords, but he understands, because there are parts that he has to fill in, and he needs to know that the round of that chord, or the measure that we are playing, is the minor. So he can come on in with a feel there, you know, especially when we like to play interludes at weddings and church service. When people are praying, you like to play a soft interlude. So you introduce this kind of soft music chords, and then you understand the language. So you can create your own language. You can have a basic way of communicating that the audience necessarily don't know what you are talking about, but you understand. Instead of doing Kichi, okay. You know, it distracts people. When you just come in, sit down on the piano, you'll be like this, and then they know what they are playing. The basis is in the key. Every other person that is playing chords will just see this, and they know what it is, and then they start playing. You don't have to say, what key are we playing on? And there are mics everywhere, and then people hear what you say. Okay, G, okay. In fact, when you rehearse, you don't have to do all of that. Most of the time, bands will just annoy you before they sing. They touch everything. Bass guitar is loud and all of these things. So you have to, you know, organize, have a common language, and know what to do. Now, the next point, I say, do not play to outshine other band members. Most of the time, when you travel around bands, believe me, I have really seen bands in, especially ministry, Equa. I've seen bands struggling with playing songs, playing styles that are not Makossa, styles that are not. Makossa is like Calypso here, just with some reshufflement and all of that. Is a style from Zaire, from all of these people, you know. It's an African style. So it's mostly played well here. Most of the time, Makossa doesn't have more than 3 chords to play. You play your do, fa, so most of the time. If you want to do a bridge, you can add your minor, you know, which is your 6th. You can add a minor and all of that if you want to do a bridge and all of that. But mostly is 3 chords, and it goes back and forth and all of that. So, but in every band you go to, you find out that there are people in the band who can either play all the instrument and play it well, or they know music very well. Most of the time there are people like that. They know music very well. So they tend to play to outshine the rest of the people in the band, to like show that, man, this is how you should play. This is how you should play. They don't even allow others to express anything that they know, anything that they want to do. They say, no, 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 it's a wrong chord, it's a wrong chord, and all of that. So don't try to play or do anything that would make you outshine the rest of the band, because the reason why you're called a band, one person cannot, of course they say there is a one-man band, but one person cannot do a band and people would appreciate. At most you sit on the piano or the guitar, you sing, only you. But if I bring in a second voice, you'll be amazed what difference it will make, harmony wise or melody wise. So try and see that if you are that far knowledgeable in music, you come down to the level of everybody, so that we don't hear you as a bassist playing things that the piano is not supporting, or as a piano playing chords that the bassist is not supporting, and all of that. So we really have to harmonize. We really have to make what we do, great and glorious for people to enjoy. So play as a band. Do not outshine others while playing. I'd like to take a short break here for the next point that I'm going to stress, and I'll be right back. Hi, the show is still The Bandstand on Equa Television. I remain Tony J. Nakale. And before I took the break, the topic of discussion today, I'm teaching about playing as a band. And then the first point I said was, what is the purpose of the band? The second point I made was the purpose of the band determines the type of musicians that should be in the band. And then thirdly, I talked about creating a musical language for the band to communicate while people are on stage. And then on the fourth point, I said people should not play to outshine the others in the band, no matter what it is that you know. So I'm moving up to the next point, and I'm just praying, I'm just hopeful that you find all the things that I'm saying useful. If you need to make comments or say anything about what I'm doing, you can call me, you can send me an email. It's right there. The next point is understand the concept of the music and score it as a team. It is very important. I know in one of my episodes I talked about personal practice. You practice personally wherever you are, you practice. But today I'm talking about this point that I'm bringing out right now. I'm talking about understanding the concept of the music while you score it as a band. When you go into something, understand what it is first. When you move into a song, understand the origin of the song. Is the song coming from Don Moen? If the song is coming from Don Moen, you don't expect too much gymnastics on the instrument. And understand his mood, the origin. Where is the song coming from? Is it coming from Fred Hammond? Of course, we know somebody like Brother Fred Hammond in those days. He used to play chords that you hardly can score. The drummer used to do a very super jihad on the drums and all of that. And it's difficult, but right now, these days, they simplify their play. I like these people, and God bless them wherever they are, and they play very well. So understand the origin of the music. If you tell me that, wow, we're doing a song from Fred Hammond, well, I know it's going to be a little bit demanding for me as a pianist scoring the song. When you say you're doing song from Don Moen, I'll be all right. When are we rehearsing? Because I know Don Moen takes it easy, and most likely he can just play 3, 4 chords, 5 chords, and add a few things, maybe in the bridge and all of that. You need to understand who the original owner of the song is and what version of the song are you singing. That helps you, it prepares your mind for the kind of rehearsal and the practice that you are expecting. So you talk about the song as a band. Listen, brothers, this song is a little bit jazzy. We need to play like with the jazzy nature of the song. We shouldn't lose that trying to do anything local. So it's jazzy, so we have to play it jazzy. If there are flaws in maybe running of the scales, the pianist should be able to try and get these flaws. Whatever you know is played, try and get it right, play it, and then people who have a knowledge of the song that has pre-existed, they would have an understanding of how to appreciate the version that you are doing. I would like to say this again. Try to know the origin of the song. It helps. If you are doing a song by CeCe Winans, her songs are also easy. Some of the times her songs are technical. Or there is this song of hers. I remember one time we were rehearsing it. It was killing us in those days. It's all in your name, da, 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 Jesus, da, 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 da. It gets to a point, they started playing a whole lot of things. I think you should try and use that song for your personal practice. I like the progression in that song and all that. Get that song. It's All in Your Name by CeCe Winans. I think it's a very good song to do as a band and all of that. Score it and see how far you can go with that. It's an old song, but it's a great song too. So remember to play along. Remember to rehearse along. Remember to understand the origin of the music. It helps you in your mood. It helps you in your thinking. It helps you even in your delivery. You want to picture the song through the eyes of the person who did the song. I would always say this in my band. When we pick up a song to sing, why did we pick that song? If the person did it the way we are doing it now, would we pick that song and sing it? So I like to ask that question. Ask yourself that question too before you select a song. Think about it. If CeCe Winans did this song and we're rehearsing the song and it's Saturday and want to deliver it just the way it is, if she did that song the same way we're doing it tomorrow, would we have chosen that song to do on Sunday in church? Takes extra effort, more than extra effort, for you to play music that will be appreciated today, because listenership has really evolved. The way people perceive music has really changed. So if you are there still giving them music from in the beginning, a whole lot would be wrong. And the next point is listen. The next band member, listen to the next band member to you, so that you can control your playing. Some people cannot just play easy without making unnecessary noise. Music is a combination of sound. That's the most general term. That's how they define music, easily. But I like to qualify it by saying it's a combination of pleasant sound. Just because it's a combination of sound doesn't mean you start soloing from the beginning of the song all the way through to the tail end. I find that very, very, it offends me when you don't play music right. Don Moen did a video, check it out. He just had people in the studio and he said, how would you normally play the song? And they played it and he will be like, wow, take it easy. What about you? How would you have played it? And you hear people doing crazy solo on a song that should be very, very easy. I think that is a very remarkable one on him. So, remarkable one from him. You should listen to the next person sitting right next to you, playing the guitar and all of that. If he's too loud, you calm down. Don't listen to him too loud and compete with him at the level of loudness in terms of playing and at the level of loudness in terms of volume, because you need to understand that there are two different things. Loudness in terms of volume and loudness in terms of playing, they are two different things. So don't try to play every scale that you know in a 3-4 minute song. It doesn't make any sense. So try to be disciplined. everything you know in music cannot be played in just one gig. So you have to understand that, and you have to really play as a team. The next point is develop fellowship meetings that will be used as a tool to bind you more together as musicians. Don't just make every of your meetings musical. Every meeting should not be about music. Some of your meetings, in fact, most of your meetings should be about the God that you play this music onto. You need to understand God together as a team. You need to understand that if you are playing to a God, how much of him do you know? It's very, very important for you to play as a team, not just as musicians, but as brothers. Create this fellowship that you can sit together and say, hey, this week, Brother James, you talk to us about God. Next week, Brother Peter, talk to us about God. Next week, Sister Esther, talk to us about God. The other week, Sister Dees, talk to us about God. So it gives you a kind of bonding. It brings you together, not just to the level of playing alone, but appreciating God and what he is doing. It's very, very important to first and foremost know this God that you choose to play onto. Thank you very much for watching this episode today, and I hope you found it very, very interesting and useful. The topic I spoke about, the topic I dealt with today is playing as a band, and it's so unfortunate that this show is just half an hour, and this is where I have to stop. If you have to talk to me about anything concerning this show, you can reach me by any of the contact that you see on the screen. Thank you very much for hanging out there with me. My name is Tony J. Nakale, and then the show is The Bandstand on Equa Television. God bless you until I see you next time.